Hey, welcome back to Change the Odds, the podcast where marriage and family were never meant to be a game of chance. My name is Kevin Thompson, and as we close out this year of 2025, first of all, I want to say thank you to our video production team here at the Thrive Podcast Network. I think about Taylor and Caleb and Jordan and Tyler and Aaron and the whole team that goes in, Bree, who's behind the scenes and does so many things. It's an honor to serve with Mark and Leslie, Morgan, the whole team, Kurt and Dina at the Thrive Podcast Network. So thank you for 2025. We look forward to 2026. And today, oh my goodness, I never thought this would happen. By request. This is the first person I think that's requested to be on the podcast and now is going to be on the podcast. We have Silas Thompson. Silas, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Have you ever listened to the podcast?
Not once.
Not once. Okay. Have you ever... So I've written 6 books. Of those 6 books, have you ever read one?
I think I read the first 3 pages of U-Turn when it first came out.
Okay.
Haven't touched one since.
There we go. What an honor it is to be here today. All right, so Silas, my son, 17 years old. We kind of have our work clothes on. Silas here at Granite Bay works in our facilities team. What does that mean to work on facilities? What do you do?
Lots of bathrooms, lots of trash. We set up all the rooms for all the events.
Okay.
And we just, clean up people's messes.
So you do the real work as I'm on stage.
We do our best.
Yes. Okay. So it's the end of 2025, and we thought we'd have a conversation here. So here's how this is going to work. I have questions. Silas has questions. We're just going to banter back and forth. I'll ask him one. He'll ask me one. This, in all likelihood, will never air, is my guess is how this is actually going to go. Who knows? We have agreed nothing will air unless we are both in agreement of it. So if we get off script and don't like it, if he hurts my feelings, we'll can this and record something else. Okay. Am I going first or you?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'll go first. All right, so here we go. We're going to go with this. Let me ask you this: what's whenever you look back on your childhood? So now you're 17, right? I mean, whenever you look back on your childhood, what is one memory? Doesn't have to be the best. What is one memory you think of fondly between the two of us?
Oh, between us, it's definitely. There's a moment we're on vacation. It's Mom's 40th birthday, and this memory has nothing to do with her.
Okay.
We're in Montana at Glacier National Park. And we come up to this lake, and it's me and you. Mom and Ella are off somewhere else running around. And it's just us sitting down, staring at this lake, just enjoying the moment together as we've been, together as a family for about a week at this point.
Yeah.
Driving me crazy.
Uh-huh.
That calmness, that quiet, replays in my brain all the time.
Wow. It's a
that's
cool.
Great moment.
That's beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So me saying nothing. Yeah. Is one of your greatest childhood memories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, your turn. Here we go.
Yeah. Let's think of a good one here. Probably, I think this is one of the better ones. I think. What's one way becoming a father changed you?
Man, there's a lot of ways, obviously. So, listeners should know that you have an older sister, Ella, has Down syndrome, so a little different scenario. And so I think what's interesting is whenever you become a father, there's just some things you can't know until you know. Mm-hmm. And so I think when the moment a woman gets pregnant, I think she's a mom. Like immediately she feels that her body's changing, very protective. Matter of fact, I remember one night before y'all were around, Jenny is pregnant. We're laying on the couch and we're watching this scene and probably like something like Alias or 24. Those were the shows back then. So this very tense moment, this music is playing and you don't know what's around the corner. And I just at just the right moment just go boop. Like just to scare mom, right? And I saw a side of her I'd never seen in my entire life. Like she turned to hit. It became very evident in that moment that she was saying, I will kill you for this child, right? Mm-hmm. So I think a woman becomes a mother the moment they get pregnant. I think a dad slowly becomes a dad. Mm-hmm. And ultimately it isn't that way until they hold their child in their arms. And then it becomes this obvious, I will die for this thing, right? This thing, I like that. That's how I see you as this thing. So I think one thing that you just can't prepare for is what that feeling looks like. And I think maybe what struck me the most is this idea of you feel divided because now you have this child that's over here in the bassinet and you have this wife that's over here in the bed and you're like, I literally will die for both of these things. And yet you feel torn in some moments. So I don't think I don't think there's any way to explain that until you experience it, that you always have in the back of your mind, where are they? Are they safe? How can I help them? So I think probably one thing that might be surprising to you is there's no way for you to comprehend how much I think of you. Matter of fact, you probably wish I thought of you less. But that kind of concept is one thing that's there. Let me ask you this. What's it like? We've talked about this on the show some, and Mom and I've talked about it some. What's it like from your perspective to have an older sister with Down syndrome?
I don't know. I mean, so I think the best way to put it is that's my normal. I will never, not have that. And so to me, it's completely normal. That's the standard I expect. And so never once have I really thought, oh, this is something that's out of place or something that's strange. It's simply the way it is.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, obviously there's been struggles and challenges for, both of us. Ella has to deal with me, right? That cannot be easy. But overall, I think I don't ever really think about it like that at all. No, I think, okay, I have an older sister. Here's the things she loves. Here's the things that, she doesn't love. And here's what she's good at. And here's what she's not so good at. Just like, I assume she looks at me and goes, here's the long list of things my younger brother is very bad at.
Yeah.
Here's the couple of things he's good at.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it is.
You are a very good brother and always have been. Always very protective. Matter of fact, I don't know if you remember this, but when she moved from elementary school back in Arkansas, we had junior high, not middle school, but when she moved from elementary school to junior high, it really kind of freaked you out a little bit because you had this protective nature. And I tried to convince you that it wasn't your job to protect her, that we had these other things in place, but you did not like it at all. Matter of fact, you kind of wanted to go a little bit faster into junior high to be with her because you were afraid of what would happen. And do you remember any of that? Or
I remember bits and pieces. Going to the same school for a good bit of time probably makes that transition a little bit harder. But yeah, I remember bits and pieces. It was so long ago. I don't remember the whole thing. I do remember this feeling of like, oh, I can't be right there. And that feeling a lot of the times bugs me. Even now. Yeah.
But let's be honest. She's at college now.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Okay. I just checked this to check. All right, your turn.
Let's see. Oh, this one's good. Okay. When have you felt proud of the kind of person I'm becoming?
Oh, all the time, I think. I think I've always been proud of who you were becoming. Here's the thing. You've always been this very kind, compassionate, thoughtful, considerate person. Even last week, right? I get a message from somebody who you've interacted with. You don't even know about this. You've interacted with their child and have befriended their child in such a way that it's had a positive impact on their lives. And so this person is now emailing me for that. But I remember all the way back to whenever you were just a little boy. You just had this compassion about you toward other people. Matter of fact, there have been times in which, as much as we want to nourish that compassion, there's been other times in which every strength has a shadow side. We talk about around here. Is that compassion sometimes can cause you to take on the feelings and the emotions of others that aren't yours to own. So, one of the things you struggled with early on in school is when somebody else would get in trouble. You would, like, the justice within you would want to go take that away from them, or you felt like you were getting in trouble. So there's a downside to that. But no, there's no hesitation on my pride of who you are as a person. As a matter of fact, that's on the rare occasion that you're making questionable decisions. The thought comes to me of, hey, that's just not who you are. Like you're this other thing. I wish you could see that and be something else. What's one thing that you think? What's one thing that whenever you look at me and Mom, right? I play our marriage expert on the internet.
Yep.
Not in our house. Whenever you look at me and Mom, what's one thing in our marriage that you think, okay, that's pretty good, I'd like to replicate that in my life later?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the easiest part and the easiest thing to say for that answer is 100% the understanding that you two have of, okay, here's the things I like to do, here's how I like things, and then Mom will go, here's how I like things. And just that kind of understanding that this is the kind of person I am with, and this is how they want to do things. And I'm not going to make them do something that they're very uncomfortable with. Like, I want to do this way. he wants to do it this way. And I see you and Mom kind of, work your way around these problems, never in arguments. Although sometimes you guys, joke around a bit, and Ella thinks it's an argument, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. But it's a beautiful thing that, I really, really look forward to having to, is this kind of understanding of another person that, okay, here is how they are. I understand them because, you guys have just been together so long. You have a kind of understanding of each other. Mm-hmm. That's really beautiful because you can kind of begin to shape how each other think. Yep. And it can sometimes be to your own detriment where it's like, okay, she was willing to do this thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's, beautiful.
Yeah. So on a scale, I'm asking multiple questions now.
Go for it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, mm-hmm. 10 being the greatest marriage in the world, 1 being it's all a sham. It's a hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. They're just staying together so that Kevin can write books about it. And 7's not an option. Oh. Because as you always know, I never allow 7 because Tim Ferriss. What would you rank our marriage at from your perspective?
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's like an 8 or 9. It is by far, I'm probably biased about this, right? But it's by far one of the healthiest marriages I've seen. Maybe it's because I consider that normal now, having, lived around that for so long.
Yeah.
But even sometimes I'll be talking to people I know, and they'll be talking about how their parents interact with each other, and I just go, I am so grateful for the marriage that you guys have. Mm-hmm. And I can tell, you guys probably don't see it as much, but I can just know that the way you guys have handled your marriage has drastically impacted me and Ella's lives.
Yeah.
And how we will see relationships.
Yeah.
And how, when we get married, how we expect that marriage to look.
Yeah. Wow, this has turned into a love fest. I didn't expect this. Okay, we're 15 minutes in. We got to get real. No, just kidding. Your turn. Go ahead.
Let's see here. Ooh, speaking of, what is something you're still trying to get better at in your relationship?
With Jenny or with you or with who?
I would say with Mom. I'm going to pretend to be the relationships expert on the internet now.
Yes.
And now I will ask you the marriage questions.
One thing I'm trying to work on, I think, so, you're going to know this well. You're on the receiving end of it as well. So I think I'm always striving to become more vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So, for whatever reason, the way my brain works is I have to have the answers. I can't have need. I can't, I'm living in this constant fear of if I put my needs out on the table, she's going to look at me and go, oh, you're just too needy, mm-hmm. and leave. And you're probably like, yeah, you are too needy. Like that's the reality. And so that ability to be more and more vulnerable mm-hmm. of here's what I feel, here's what I think. The listeners have heard me talk about before that it took 10 years before I could ever tell Mom I didn't like something she cooked. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't want to cook.
Yeah.
Who am I to critique, right? And so, but what I'm doing in that moment is I'm actually robbing her of the fullness of who I am. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's something that I want to do better. And I think it's something here's what's happening. She has shown me such trust and respect that I know how she's going to treat my heart, that I can be as vulnerable as I want to be. Mm-hmm. Now it's just a moment of, can I grow in mm-hmm. that trust to be as vulnerable as she actually needs me to be. Yeah. I think what's been like that as from a son's perspective with a dad who is not very emotional, who is like, this is what's the sign? Tell me. It doesn't have to be the exact moment. Mm-hmm. Tell me what am I like when I'm mad?
It's honestly kind of strange. It's like when a teacher gets upset with you, you get that kind of stern responses, right? I make jokes all the time that your preaching voice is your lecturing voice, mm-hmm. And that's very true. You get all up on this kind of, okay, here's my authority. Let me push that on to you. Let me show you why what I'm saying is important. And I tune out that like I tune
like
out
I'm preaching,
like your sermons, yeah. Which maybe that's why I turn out the sermons, right? But it's very much so this kind of sense of, okay, let me show you my authority and why I'm right in this situation. Yeah. Not here's the basis of understanding them.
Even though I am right.
Arguably, sometimes.
Okay, so that wasn't my actual question. Here's my actual question. What's one thing you think I could have done better as a dad? It doesn't have to be the main thing, just something.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just go with the most recent one I've been thinking of.
So you regularly
we
think
got a
about
long
this
list.
question.
We got a long list to go through. I mean, one I was thinking of today was, I mean, there are 100% times where I feel unlistened to, which I think is very, normal in this kind of, and I mean, any, relationship in which there's this kind of power dynamic between people. I think the person at the top of that typically thinks, okay, I'm in charge of this other person. I'm going to, listen to what they have to say. And then a lot of the times it goes out one ear. Right. And so, I mean, like even today, I've told you much about my disdain for artificial intelligence, and you as a person who loves that kind of thing,
Yes.
writes me questions in artificial intelligence. So
I curated it. It didn't come up with it on its own.
This is a great example.
Yes.
That kind of thing. And so I think there's aspects of that. I think it's a listening thing mostly. And I mean, I think it's a problem. I mean, it's not just you. I think mom does it too.
Yeah.
I think the majority of parents do it. I mean, people listening, if you're a parent, listen to your kids. I mean, let's be realistic here. We're little people. We kind of,
You used to be.
we know what we're talking about from our perspective.
Okay. So what'd you say there? Oh, wow.
This is ridiculous.
This is
And
these are the jokes you've had to put up with your entire
we have
lives.
more to add to the list.
Yes. No, that's exactly right. I mean, this is the actual joke. What do you think is the what's the phrase you've heard me say the most? In other words, whenever like what's the thing that you think that that just beats this dead horse like crazy on this?
There's a few notable things. So one of the things, whenever I think about things you say constantly that I hear and I recognize, and I'm like, oh, I know who said that. The first is your laugh. I can be in the worship center. There's 1,000 people in there. I hear your laugh and I know exactly where you are.
Do you know the difference between the real laugh and the fake laugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can 100% hear it.
Yeah.
The fake laugh, I think, is the one I know better because of how much it's used.
You've heard it more.
Yeah. Another one, I think, back in Arkansas. I mean, I haven't listened to one of your sermons recently.
Okay.
No offense.
Thank you.
You used to always say, open your Bibles to blank.
If you have
blank,
your
blank,
Bibles, I hope that you do. Yeah.
And then boom. Obviously, I haven't listened to one in a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
What's
you
the
still
biggest
say that.
relationship advice I've ever given you?
Marry up. That's the one. And so always going for.
If I've taught you anything,
Yeah.
marry somebody who makes more money than you and takes care of you. Yeah.
That's the marriage.
There's
advice.
another piece of advice that I've regularly said that you will remember as soon as I say it, which is be careful who you marry. Why? They're the most likely person
to kill you. Yeah. No.
exactly right.
I have very clear memories of being young, walking into a room, watching you see some documentary about, a husband or a wife getting into an argument and it leading into something. I'm like, this is our marriage pastor here.
Yes,
this is what he does in his free time.
This is the power of being my son. Is you get advice like be careful who you marry because that's the most likely person to kill you. All right, your turn.
Let's see here. This one's good. What mistakes did you make as a young man that you're hoping I avoid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news for you is there are aspects of Mon's personality that you have that I don't have. The downside to you is there are several ways in which you are like me, unfortunately. So I think my personality by nature has this, is I'm driven too much by fear and not enough by the security that I have in God and who I am as a person. And so I think that holds me back a lot. And then I think I passed a lot of that on to you. So I would think to have more courage to do a wise risk. So I mean, think me. I'm a man of routine, right? So that idea of I think we could have moved from Arkansas a little bit sooner had I been less afraid. Could have had some more potential and opportunities and those kind of things. But I even think of how I parented you and Ella, and I think it's more personality. I don't think it's because she had Down syndrome, although maybe that plays into it. I think I was just too fixated on your own safety. I would have risked your life more.
Yeah.
I think. Because then that creates within you this awareness. I mean, now part of it, your personality would have it as well, because we share an aspect of that. So I would say that's a huge issue early on. I think Mom and I got a lot of things right, but I think I think that's one aspect that I probably would have done differently. I probably would have focused a little bit more in on, like with Ella specifically, being more like even there physically active. So I think I'm so focused on don't get hurt that then that cuts down on the activity of what's going on. So I think that's a mistake of some sort. All right, here we go. Let's go with mine. So what's one thing that you hope to do better than me at as a man?
Oh, lots of things.
Wow, we
Lots of things.
The quick response on that was fascinating.
Yeah, no. So there's a long list of things. I think, one I was thinking, on my car drive over here, was I want to be more impactful than you. And that's not saying that you're not impactful.
That's good.
I think it's because you are so impactful to other people's lives that kind of instills that want in me to do the same. To go out to help people, to influence people to make better decisions. It's really something. Seeing you do it for so long has really pushed me and given me that want to go out to help people, to just make sure, I think it's part of something that we do where we like control over stuff, right? We like to make sure that kind of thing happens. But I just want to go out to help people, to influence people, to make what I think are better decisions. Now, obviously, that's something I will have to work on. Do
you feel pressure to do that?
Not really, no. So it's something I think for a long time, especially my childhood, I did. But I think the more I grow, I think there was a time in which I would have never said that. Where what I would have said for that question is, be more physically fit than you.
Thanks.
That's a good one.
Good.
Had to add another one in there.
Still take you right now.
I don't know about that
once.
one. But no, I think in recent times especially, and maybe, it's working at Bayside has done that with me, getting to see all these people's lives change for the better, and to see people happier than when they came in at the start, and to see the impact that you've had on other people's lives that have made their lives better. It instills that want in me to do the same.
What's it been like? So the perception I have, and I could be wrong because maybe I wasn't listening. The perception I have is that Ella loves being the child of a pastor. Right. And you're not always as fond of it. And let's be honest with what it is. This is not fame. This is not celebrity. This is none of these things. We used to call it Fort Smith famous back in our hometown. So here at Bayside, this is, okay, there's 10,000 people that know you. Whereas probably the average person has maybe 100 people that know them. So you have, there's more. So, but it's not fame by any means, but it is this, people know who you are. And there's pros and cons to that. So what's it been like for you being that?
It's honestly, it's interesting. So I think the part that bothers me about it, I would have absolutely no problem, going up, doing all of this kind of thing. I tell you all the time, I could, I listen to parts of your sermon. I go, I could do that easily. I could do that. No writing.
Very confident about your preaching ability that you've never done.
Very much so. I think I could go out and do it Sunday. But no, I think the part that bothers me is knowing that all of these people now know who I am, but I don't have the ability to necessarily go out and know all of them the same way that they know me. And so what saddens me is I go, somebody says my name, calls me over. I go, hi, how are you doing? But I have no idea who this person is. And that's what bothers me. Now, the more that people do that, the more I learn who they are, right? Which is a good thing. But what saddens me is I will not be able to have a personal connection with all of these people. And it's a strange thing in general. Someone coming up to you, telling you a story about your childhood.
Does it feel, do you feel hypocritical, or do you feel that it's unfair of, me, I should,
exactly.
You're valuable, I should know you.
That's 100% what it is. Is I feel bad that I don't know them the same way that they know me. And so I strive to kind of understand, who are you? what are you doing? How can I understand you the way you understand me? And so whenever, and the problem with, so many people now kind of just at least knowing my name is, I can't do that with everybody. And that kind of, that idea.
That's fair. So if you, here's an interesting question. If you could be raised, now many listeners won't know who these people are because they're in various places across the country, but we'll explain. We're gonna use one person and then explain what we're looking at. If you had to change out right now who your dad is with one of my coworkers or bosses, so one of the pastors at Bayside, right? There's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot,
Which one would you choose and why? And it's not so much about the person, but we're going to talk about what are the qualities of that person. But who would it be?
That is a tough question. I'm trying to think. There's a few options.
Okay.
I think the simplest solution is Dustin Larson, just because.
Okay. Your friends.
Their family. Yeah. Beckham's great. I'm trying to think. If I wanted.
Let's go one of the kind of stage pastors that you see. Is it going to be Mark?
Probably not. Definitely not Mark.
No, definitely not.
No.
That would be ridiculous to be raised by him. Don't you think? So who? Your favorite pastor, your favorite preacher's Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew's great.
You love Brian.
Brian's incredible.
Kurt obviously is great as well. So which is there one that you would?
Is there? I don't really. I think I can't think of that kind of, world where.
I'm not the switch on. Okay, maybe it's a
marriage
bad question.
pastor's son.
Maybe it's a bad question.
But if I had to choose, probably Andrew. Yeah.
Andrew, it'd be entertaining to listen to.
No, he's just great.
Imagine getting in trouble by Andrew. It's this Irish voice that's coming to you.
I could listen to that.
unlike what you currently have. All right, your turn. Next question.
Let's see here. This one's good. What do you hope me and you, our relationship looks like? When I'm, 25, off somewhere, not at home.
Yeah. So these are the things that keep me up at night, right? So here's what terrifies me. What terrifies me is you do have a personality, at least at this stage in life, but you're still being formed, right? You're 8 ways away from your frontal lobe being fully formed, right? And so, but like right now, you're not the best at always texting. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind, all right? As some of our family members back in Arkansas know.
Yeah.
And so that terrifies me. That idea, I get that our communication will be different and those kind of things, but what I want is I want a weekly meal, probably lunch. I want that set kind of weekly rhythm that we have, right? Right now we go to Raising Cane's and that kind of thing. I like the rhythm of that. And then what I would like beyond that is I would like regular kind of texting or calling kind of communication, and I want to get to the point that as you become an older man that you don't hesitate to call and say, hey, what do you think about this? Not that I'm ever dictating to you what should happen, but this idea of this relationship of I'm one of the trusted voices in your life that will speak to you and give you advice as you then go off and make your decision. What do you want?
I don't know. I expect to see you guys at Christmas, Thanksgiving.
It'd be hilarious if you said you're dead to me.
No. But yeah, no. I think you got it pretty good. I expect Cane's on Fridays, and texting, calling. I don't know about that one. I'm not too good at that.
Yeah, I know. But we text a little bit. Yeah. You respond to like every 5th text.
Something like that. I
think. All right, so let's do 2 more each, right? So be thinking about that of where we're going. We're going to kind of begin to wrap this up a little bit. What's a moment you talked about earlier listening, and that's a very fair thing. What's something you feel, either a situation where I totally misunderstood you, or just in general who you are? What's something you think that I don't get right about you?
I think for a very long time, at least from my perspective, I felt this kind of, and it was probably because I was far younger, and then for a long time, the listeners probably don't know, I'm quite reserved. Even at the house, I like my space, my time, my kind of thing. And so I think there went a very long period in which we didn't have a ton of deep, meaningful conversations about, however, ideas I had. And I think now it got far better, but there was a good period of time, middle school, early high school, where I have all these ideas and all this stuff. And when I talk to you about it, you bring up, your ideas and something like that, and then you just go off on your idea. Not really, listening to mine. Now though, I think we have very good conversations. I mean, like, lunch on Fridays, I think we have very deep, meaningful conversations about a wide variety of topics.
Yeah.
But for a long time, it felt very,
I'd pivot it to my concept.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Is that, I mean, not just beyond that, is it, people often ask mom, like, how cool is it to live with this guy who always has all these ideas? And she's like, oh yeah, real cool. Like, I wish he'd go weed eat. Like,
yeah.
Is it,
no, 100%.
Do you get sick of being like this
is the 5th hour he's been typing on his computer. He just has too many ideas.
Or to be the test dummy of, do you get tired of me telling you what your personality is?
Yeah, sometimes. I think the 5th personality test of a vacation kind of.
Which is part of your personality, by the way, that you
claims. So I think that's where Ella gets it. Now Ella does the same thing to me, where it's like, oh, take this test for me real quick. Yeah. Let me figure
Ella
you out.
does do that a lot. She sends a lot of those.
I know.
She's a social media manager's dream.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. All right, you got it. Next question's yours.
What is a mistake you made that you made that impacted me in a way that, I mean, maybe I don't realize it, or I do.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you think about and you're like, I should not have done that.
Yeah. So we've written about our shared anxiety of what that looks like. So the book Fearless Families, actually, I don't know if you remember this, you actually approved the intro to Fearless Families.
I have
before
no recollection of
put it out.
that.
You could actually sue me now saying that you were a minor and you didn't have the right to do that.
Wonderful.
You could have all my debt. But I think early on with that anxiety, and even now to a certain extent, it's always difficult to figure out, is this the byproduct of anxiety or is this rebellion? Which is it?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying, so whenever you're little, if I'm saying, all right, let's go to school, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. For a good period of time, that was rebellion. And it's like, what do you do about this, right? Well, what we learned later is, no, that's anxiety. So how do we navigate that in a proper way? So I think looking back, even some of the things that I have in my mind of, look, I was trained at the time. A counselor was like, "Hey, you got to sleep train these kids, and so put him to bed, spend your time with him, and then leave. And whenever you leave, if he gets out of bed, put him back into bed, and then close the door, and then hold it shut.
Yeah.
And eventually he'll calm down." So I still remember, like you as a little bitty boy, like screaming on the other side of the door, and it breaking my heart, and me going, "No, this is what the experts have said is what's best for him," and all. And now I think it's greatly screwed you up. But
Wow.
So I think I look at things like that, and to go back, I remember I spanked you one time, and do you remember that at all?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I also remember mom threatening the cowboy belt.
Oh, mom would spank you now.
Terrifying.
Right? She'd have no problem with that. So, but I remember I spanked you one time, and I told Jenny I can't do it. Like I do not have that ability to do that. One, I don't think it's necessary, but I just don't have that ability, and I can't. And so I still feel guilt over that.
Oh, wow.
Over that, I just don't think it was the right thing to do in the moment. I think I was punishing things that you couldn't necessarily control. So those kind of things. I will say on the opposite side, things that you won't remember that I just will never forget is, one thing I did right as a parent, right, is I never took for granted the time that we had. And so as generally mom would put Ella to bed, I would put you to bed, right? We'd watch videos on my phone or whatever, and then you'd go to sleep to George Strait. And so just laying there and knowing these moments are so fleeting. Yeah. And I so embrace them. I probably actually put you to bed too much, right? Instead of letting you learn how to do that on your own. But I think those moments I just cherish them so much. Do you remember? You probably don't remember. Do you remember what I used to say whenever I would get up and leave your room?
No recollection.
Yeah, you might have been asleep part of the time, but I would always say, I love you, I'm proud of you, and you're going to be a mighty man one day. And I still believe that. All right. Maybe. One last question. We each get one last question. So I want you to think hard. Think about what it might be.
Think about a good one.
You want to go first, or you want me to?
Go ahead and let me think of one.
I'm going to go. My last question is this: 10 years from now, You're 27.
Yeah.
Right? Where do you see yourself? And what role could I play for you whenever you're 27 that would be the most meaningful for you? How could I help you?
Well, 27, hopefully married by 27, house, dog, that kind of thing, living the dream, stable job, stable income. And I have the ability to then, call you on my own time, obviously, since that's what I do.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah. Call you and say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's, I need some advice on this thing. And I assume, and I always have assumed, that when I get to that age, that's going to be the majority of our conversations is going to be, hey, here's what's going on in my life. I need the wisdom of, a marriage, pastor on the internet.
Yeah. Marriage expert on there. Always there. No question. Here's the thing. We've talked about this before in the past when you started driving. And one thing I said, if you're ever in a wreck, whenever you make the phone call, the first thing you say to me is, Dad, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then you tell me what's going on. There's another thing that we have between us, and it's simply this. In any situation you're in life, if the first words I hear out of your mouth are, Dad, I need you, everything else goes away. No judgment, no consequences. No, now there might eventually be, but in the moment, whatever, you're not going to get shock from me. You're not going to get, how dare you? You're not going to get, what do you do? It's, Dad, I need you, ma'am. Full resources of me there completely. Yeah. All right. Last question. Here we go. I'm nervous.
Let's compare ourselves here.
Okay.
You at 17, me at 17, looking at the course of our lives, where it's going.
Yeah.
Who's doing better?
Yeah. So you at 17 with a girlfriend, with a fully funded Roth IRA of your own doing, with a job, versus me, my senior year of high school, having never gone on a date, having not worked a job yet. Clearly me. There's no.
Look at where you are now, right?
Keep the totals of what. Now there is an argument of I was already in my chosen profession. I was already working in that way. But no, it's not a competition by any means. But I will say, where you are in your life, there are many things in which you are well beyond where I was at 17, and you have everything. You have everything that you need at this moment to be successful in life. You weren't raised in perfection by any means. Here's what you did have. You were raised by two people who fully loved you, who would take full responsibility for things that they got wrong, and will do everything in their power to support you from this point forward. What you do with it is now literally between you and God. Yeah. And we're here to help, but we recognize, Mom and I are clearly aware, there's not much we can do now to change what's going on. But man, you have all the potential in the world. My prayer for you is simply this, that you would see who God has made you to be and go out and be that to the fullness of who you are, and not be concerned with anybody else. So ironically, I'm praying that you would be more like Mark Clark, is what I'm doing in this.
Wow. Not sure how I feel about that one,
No, I'm just kidding. But no, buddy, I love you, and I think the world of you. And thanks for being on my podcast.
Yeah, of course. It was great.
Now, maybe next time I'll preach to you so you'll listen.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Hey, all right. Hey, don't know if that's meaningful to you or not. It's meaningful to me. So God bless. We'll see you in 2026.